Okay, this is a fertility update. It is February 20th, and I just decided to stop tapering tea. So, I felt fine so far for the last 7 weeks of doing it, and I don't know. I feel anxious to get to the point where I know what my fertility looks like. And instead of waiting until April for everything to be completely tapered off, I made up the tapering plan on my own. There's no standard of care. I had my appointment with my hormone prescriber last week, and she was very excited for me. She was super excited because we had talked about this a year ago, how I wanted to have a baby, how I should come off tea, stuff like that. And we came up with this plan where she's like, just lower it every month. And so she was saying, she's like, you can just stop it at any time. You don't have to keep tapering. And I was like, yeah, I know. I feel okay with the tapering, whatever. But the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't know. I just want to just be off it and wait and see what happens so that I can be in a better place of knowing what's up. It's if I'm going to have issues with my part of the fertility piece, I'd like to know sooner than later, and so I just decided last night my phone reminder went off and I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. I think I'm just going to stop right now. When I had met with her literally last week, I was like, I'm going to keep doing it. I feel fine. But I feel there's less of a dramatic change from 0.2 to nothing than there would have been from 0.4 to nothing. So I also feel okay with that. I'm only a week away from just doing 0.1. So really, what's the difference? So yeah, that's the update. I've decided to just kind of stop testosterone. So as of now, I guess I'm officially not on tea for the next however long. The next time I'll take tea is after I have a baby. Potentially. Unless something goes wrong and this doesn't happen. That would be really sad for me. I gotta keep it realistic, but that's kind of crazy. Okay, no more tea. It's funny because obviously I'm entering my 8th year of everything. I'm basically 4 months away from my 8 years on tea. So I'm just kind of halting it a little bit before that. It's kind of funny to think about. Yeah, so that's the update. And Thursday, I have a call with a lawyer to talk about just getting documentation in place for an agreement between me and my donor, just so that everything's covered. I don't really foresee he and I having a falling out of any kind, or I would never change my mind and come to him and be like, you owe me money or whatever, child support stuff. I would not do that. And I don't foresee him suddenly deciding that he wants to have a parental role in the child's life. So, but it's always better to be proactive about these kind of things and just get the groundwork laid. And I think it'll also help me have some idea of conversations to have with the donor about involvement levels and stuff like that, where we can talk about do you want to do you want regular updates? Do you want to have a special uncle role in the child's life and have an intentional bond? Do you want to just be my friend who the child knows but there's not a deep connection? All these kind of things we need to talk about as far as what he's comfortable with. We're friends, but we're not super close friends, so there's not a where we hang out all the time kind of experience. So it's we kind of have to set the tone. It's are you just going to be some guy that I know, or do you want to create a certain connection off the bat, regularly see the child and spend time and stuff like that, as just an uncle sort of position, or do you want nothing to do with the child at all? That's totally fair too. And I'm gonna kind of let him set the pace on that. As long as he's okay with answering questions and stuff down the road. I don't, when the child is old enough to ask questions about like who is the other person that is part of my genetics kind of stuff. So, but anyway, I've got this call with the lawyer to talk about that, just to know like what's it going to cost for us to file some paperwork or whatever. I don't even really know how it works. Like I don't have to file anything so much, but like just having the paperwork in place and signed and like legally documented, I guess, so that like there are no repercussions on either of us. And I believe, I don't know if New Hampshire's the kind of, there are some states where like if a child is conceived like without intercourse, then there's like no automatic parentage, but some states assign automatic parentage, and so like we'd have to go through terminating his rights through the court. But I don't know if New Hampshire's that way. So anyway, would be good to know. That's why I'm consulting with this lawyer, she's a fertility lawyer, just to get the information. And my donor is like doing some sperm testing like this coming week or so, just to make sure that like everything's all good, so that we're not wasting each other's time. So those are the updates so far. It's February 20th, and yeah, stay tuned. I will make another video once I talk to the lawyer about all that info and stuff like that. But all right.